الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله وكفى والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. My dear respected elders, brothers and sisters in Islam, tonight is the 17th night of Ramadan. The significance of the 17th of Ramadan is etched into our history. It is in the second year of migration, the 15th year of Islam, that the battle of Badr took place on the 17th of Ramadan. It was a battle that wasn't something that was anticipated. It was a strategic move to cut off the resource line that channeled down to Quraysh and thus incited the sentiment of war against the people of Yathrib. But it ended up being that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had something else planned for that day. Rasulullah camped in an area which today is known as Masjid Arish. It's a very beautiful masjid, very peaceful masjid. For anyone who's been there, when you walk into the courtyard just before entering the door, right outside there was a well. That's where the water was. During the tense standoff between the believers and the disbelievers came to the believers asking for water. And they were given it. Whenever you need water, come over, take the water. There was no personal vendetta or personal agenda for war. It was very clear that we have nothing against you. Understand why Allah's help came in previous wars. This is one of the reasons. It was never personal. Nowadays, wars are triggered because of personal reasons, and that's why there's failure. Allah's help is never in this, because this is dhulm, transgression. And so the war took place. 13 odd companions lost their life. It was a time where Abu Jahl saw his end. There is a well behind the masjid. If you go behind the masjid, there was a dry well where the body of Abu Jahl was thrown. And some of the kuffar, their bodies were thrown into that dry well. It was even buried. Around 25 odd years ago, they tried to cultivate the land again, and they tried to irrigate it with water that they dug from that well. If you go there, you'll see the trees literally fell in pieces and they were black, as if they were burnt. The palm trees have fallen and they're pieces, and they are black, but they're not burnt, but they seem that they're burnt. The Shaykh that took us from Medina Munawwara showed it to us and told us they tried to use that water. That water is from where Abu Jahl's body is, and that is why that water is, he dug deeper into it to get water. These are signs. These are signs. Those who became a curse on this earth, their curse lives on with them. So don't worry about who is doing what in this world. Worry about what you're doing in this world. A Sahabi came to Rasulullah and said, when is Qiyamah? He said to him, what have you prepared for it? A lot of big talk. Oh, this happening, that happening. What are you doing? What are you doing? Rasulullah made the Sahaba introspect. Look at yourself. Think about yourself. Worry about yourself. Prepare for the akhirah yourself. Don't worry about other people. So long my connection with Allah is straight, Allah's response on my behalf to the world will be clear also. And on that day, the 313 odd believers saw the first miracle of sorts in the history of the Muslim community, that against 1,000, they were ill-equipped. They had nothing that could have given them victory. But they had one thing that the eyes don't see, and that is Allah. And that, as I said in one of my earlier tafsirs this month, where Jibreel was commanded by Allah, descend with your army. It was the angels. It was the angels that came down. It was the angels that were a force. You can't challenge that force. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it clear in the Quran, whenever the angels came down, فَلَمْ تَقْتُلُوهُمْ وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ قَتَلَهُمْ وَمَا رَمَيْتَ إِذْ رَمَيْتَ وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ رَمَى. When you went to war, and it wasn't personal, and you waged war these people, and you confronted your enemy, you did not kill them. Allah is saying, I killed them. وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ قَتَلَهُمْ. Allah killed them. وَمَا رَمَيْتَ إِذْ رَمَيْتَ. When you were shooting those arrows, you were not shooting those arrows. Allah was shooting those arrows. Meaning this was by divine decree that you are going to defend and protect Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is there to take care of the job. All you had to do is take the first step and say, I'm going because Allah wants me to. Any war that's initiated in the name of Islam, in the name of Allah, out of vengeance and hate, to stir up problems for personal vendetta or an agenda, Allah is never going to be there. Allah will never be a part of that. So the Battle of Badr took place on the 17th. This is the night and tomorrow is the day. And we should pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that the selfless sacrifices of the believers that stood firm to the command of Allah, that allowed Allah to show them His miracle. May Allah continue to show His miracle to all of us through our selfless devotion to Him. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. But that's not the discussion tonight. Of course, we're on the 21st Juz and there's so much more to discuss. In Surah Al-Ankabut, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is continuing, and the first verse of tonight's recitation is أُتْلُ مَا أُوحِيَ إِلَيْكَ مِنَ الْكِتَابِ وَأَقِمِ الصَّلَاةِ. Verse number 45 reminds us to recite that which has been revealed to you, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and establish prayer. Know that the worship of salah is important, and the recitation of the Quran is important. Just because you read Quran in prayer every day doesn't mean you read Quran. Does that make sense? Just because you make sajda tilawa in Quran recitation doesn't mean you're praying. There are two separate acts of worship. So never say to yourself, well, I prayed today and I read a few ruku of Quran in my prayer, so that should be sufficient for my daily recitation. No. Pick up the Quran and read just as you stand up and pray. Here the Prophet ﷺ is being commanded to read that which has been revealed to him from the book and to establish prayer also. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in verse number 64, as this surah comes to end, He says, وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا لَهْوٌ وَلَعِبٌ. The best translation I find for this is in Urdu, Khel Tamasha. Khel Tamasha. This whole world is a joke. Allah is telling you all the time, the world's a joke. It's a game. It's a theater. It's just a make-up. Don't worry about it. Don't die over it. We're dying for a bigger cause. That is to get to Jannah. We're exerting our energy and our sweat and our body and our thoughts and our mind, everything, so that we can get Jannah. Channel your effort for your akhirah. Don't channel your effort for this world. Channel your effort in this world for your akhirah. The people who correctly state that there's some in religion who say the dunya is cursed, just work for the akhirah, but we have to establish a dunya also. I get that. But you're establishing your dunya only if it's going to help you in the akhirah. If your dunya is not going to help you in your akhirah, then you made a big mistake. If whatever you're establishing in this world, you're not the first brilliant person to do whatever you come up with, and you're not going to be the last. And it's only as good as it can help you beyond your mortal life. Remember that. If it's not going to help you, you can establish an empire here and sit down on your deathbed and scratch your head. Your children are gone, and that whole thought you had that I will hand over my empire and this will be hereditary for time to come, it will crash in front of your eyes. Your dunya, your worldly life is only as good as how it's effective to you in the akhirah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says it's a game, it's just a sport. وَإِنَّ الدَّارَ الْآخِرَةَ لَهِيَ الْحَيَوَانِ. The afterlife is the true thing. It's the real thing. That's why Rasul ﷺ told us that people are sleeping. When you die, you will wake up. As you sleep and you dream, that dream is your life right now. And when the angels come and take your soul, you will wake up from the true sleep into the true reality. So when you're sleeping right now, according to the tradition, sleep in a way that you control your dream and you make your dream a reality once you wake up, inshallah. We go on to Surah Rum, the chapter of Rome, and in this again, so much to talk about, but there's no time tonight. Inshallah, one day we'll cover in tafsir. But in verse number 20 to 25, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, again like last night, He was saying, "A'ilahum ma'allah." Is there any God but Allah? He was asking this question. Today Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala 5 times repeats the following verse, the starting of it. وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ, from His signs. I.e., identify that the following things are signs. What do signs do? Signs are supposed to guide you. Construction, slow down. Police ahead, move over. Signs, right? They're supposed to guide you to do something. You don't see a sign saying road ends 2,000 feet ahead and you're like, Bismillah, Allah, we're pressing that accelerator. Do you do that? No, you slow down. The road is going to end. If it says dead end, you don't say Bismillah and go there. It's a dead end. It's telling you, the sign is telling you this road is a dead end. Don't go to the end of the road and get your car and start cursing and what's going on here. It's a dead end. It told you. It told you in the beginning. The sign means something. Allah's signs mean something to us. What is the signs He's reminding us of? From His signs is He created you from dirt. You are made from dirt. And you know the quality of dirt? It is very effective so long it stays on the ground. If that dirt comes on your car, on your house, or it covers your store, you'll take a broom or a bucket of water, and what will you do? Wash it away. Wash it away. Jazakallah khair. My favorite student. Wash it away. Why? You don't belong here. I remember in 2001 when I was in India, there was these severe dust storms in Delhi in the heat of May, June. There was some real strong dust storms. And after it would subside, the shopkeepers would come out, they'd throw a bucket of water, they'd brush everything away. The dirt doesn't belong here. Allah has made us as dirt. So long we stick to our source, we'll be fine. But when we start flying around everywhere, we're going to be smacked down to reality and go back to where you belong. So Allah created us from dirt. Stay low because we're going low. Don't aim for heights. The heights we aim for is tomorrow. But if you hover below, you hover on ground level, if you drop, it's not going to be a bad fall. So Allah is saying from His signs He created you from dirt. Next verse, from His signs He has created for you a partner. Again, hitting home. Adam alayhi salam is created by who? Tell me. Allah. He is where? Tell me. Adam alayhi salam. Where was he when he was created? Heaven. He's perfectly fine. If you are created by Allah, sitting in heaven, enjoying yourself, what else do you need? You have nothing to complain about. And you have Allah. You can talk to Allah. But guess what? He said to Allah, I'm alone. I'm alone. Give me someone, a partner. And Allah created His wife from piece of Him. He created from you your partner, from you. He created you from dirt and He created from you your partner. Your partner is the most vital asset you have on this journey. It's a journey of faith. It's a journey to death. It's a journey to the akhirah. You need a partner to travel with you. Your partner is your spouse. Why, again, has marriage become a difficult thing? Remember, in Islam, it's seen different. And this culture trended. Now this culture is ending of marriage. From His signs is that He created the heavens and the earth and your different languages and your different colors. أَلْسِنَتُكُمْ وَأَلْوَانَكُمْ. Your languages are different. Subhanallah, in a country like India, there's not one language. There are close to 100 plus languages. You go to this world is full of different languages. You go to Hajj, you see people talking, and you're like, what language is that? What is that? But they're talking. Who made these languages? Allah did. Ask Allah in your language. Don't worry so much about memorizing the Arabic to ask Allah. Ask Allah in your language, because your language is the language of Allah. He created it. Talk to Allah. He's saying, it's my sign. Do you not see? Look around. All of your color, skin is different. The tone and color of your skin is different. We are not robots. We are not a cookie cutter production product. We are art of Allah. Each one has been created different. Subhanallah. So it's a sign. Allah saying, do you not see that? When you see these signs, do you not realize who I am? When you see the night become day and the day become night, do you not see who I am? When you see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, manamukum bil-layl, that you sleep at night, it's a sign from Allah. How is sleep a sign? Your body gives in, you're done, you crash, as they say. You don't know where you are, what you're doing. Who keeps your body in a perfect state? Who protects you from imminent harm that could have reached you from an insect, a snake, or anything else? Who's the one who moves your body so you don't wake up with sores on your body? Who's the one who allows you to breathe and your blood to circulate and for your body to function internally? Who's doing this? Allah is saying, it's my sign. Why don't you see me? Based on these 4 verses, you should be seeing Allah's sign every day, hundreds of times. You see the day, you see the night, you see each other, you see your partner, you see different languages being spoken, you see different colors walking. You see yourself sleeping, waking up. This is signs from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah says from His signs is that He shows you lightning. This is also a sign from Allah. So reflect, brothers and sisters, in these final nights on the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Signs that draw us closer to Him. Because truly, if we can accomplish big things in Ramadan, if we can at least get a bit closer to Him, inshallah, we've accomplished big things. Because the Quran in Ramadan is amazing. But a Quran outside of Ramadan is more than amazing. The reward may not be the same, but the motivation and the reason is much greater. It's easy to do things when everyone's doing it. It's easy to do when the momentum is there. You walk into the masjid, everyone's reading Quran right now. It's Ramadan. You're listening to Quran in the homes and on your on YouTube and stuff. You're watching Haram Taraweeh live. It's all good. It really looks good. It feels good. But after Ramadan, it's not like that. To keep up that vibe is an amazing part. So the sign of an accepted Ramadan is what we continue outside of Ramadan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it an accepted Ramadan for all of us. Say Ameen. Ameen Rabbil Alameen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, look at the signs of Allah's rahmah, how He brings life to the dead. These trees outside 2 months ago, less than 2 months ago, were dead. Today they're lush green. Allah saying, look at Allah's signs. In this world, we pass Surah Luqman, Surah Sajda, Surah Ahzab. In Surah Luqman was a wise person. He advised his son. One of the advices he gave in verse number 13 was, Ya bunayya la tushrik billah. Many of us think associating partners with Allah is like worshipping an idol. Like, if we're told don't do shirk with Allah, it's like, okay, so long I don't have an idol that I sit in front of and worship, I should be fine. La tushrik billah means what? La tushrik billah means never let the power, the authority, the thought of anything or anyone come between you and Allah. When you feel I'm only as good as my money, I'm only as good as who I am, I'm only as well protected as the people around me, this is a shirk. There's different levels of shirk. He said to his son, Luqman said, Ya bunayya, oh my son, do not associate partners with Allah. He's always Allah and you. Inna shirka la zulmun azim. Shirk is the greatest act of transgression. And when a person commits an act of transgression, Allah is not with that person. In this surah also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, and I'll end with this, a very important point, and we'll leave Surah Ahzab for tomorrow, because that's a story of what happened with the Prophet ﷺ and his wives, when he separated from them for a while. And Allah revealed this verse that if you want the world, come, I'll give you the world. He said to the wives of the Prophet ﷺ, our mothers. But if you want Allah and His Rasul, then Allah has that in store. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. But here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in verse number 14, وَوَصَّيْنَا الْإِنسَانَ بِوَالِدَيْهِ. Allah has given you advice in regards to your parents. Your mom has done great sacrifices for you. All of us sitting here have a mom. And all of us are in debt to our mothers. Doesn't matter if they're alive or they passed on. You are still in debt to them. Never should a day pass that you don't pray for your parents alive or dead. If they're alive, you should try to communicate with them as much as possible. For remember, their dua is protecting you on this earth. Mother has gone through a lot of sacrifices that we will never be able to repay. Once a man was seen making tawaf of the Kaaba, holding his mother on his back. And then he asked, did I repay my mother for what she did? I brought her to Hajj. I carried her on my back. I made her perform tawaf and I've taken her for Hajj. Have I fulfilled my due to my mother? He said, you have not even fulfilled the due of the labor pain yet. We cannot repay our mothers. But the worst thing we can do is to disobey our parents. وَإِنْ جَاهَدَاكَ عَلَىٰ أَن تُشْرِكَ بِمَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٌ فَلَا تُطِعْهُمَا. If your parents are disbelievers, non-believers, or they don't believe in the level of faith that you do, and they tell you, they command you to do something which you know is blatant wrong against Allah, it is a disobedience of Allah, it is breaking the command of Allah, فَلَا تُطِعْهُمَا. Don't obey them. وَصَاحِبْهُمَا فِي الدُّنْيَا مَعْرُوفًا. But treat them well. There has never been an instant in Islam where we have been told to disrespect our parents, regardless who they are. You may not agree with them, but you cannot disrespect them. May Allah allow us to respect our parents. May Allah allow us to honor our parents. May Allah allow us to continue praying for our parents. Ameen Ya Rabbal Alameen.